Let's get this thing on the road, man.
Yes.
J Hill podcast. I'm here. So I didn't ask you this off camera because I just wanted to see if I could get your name right or if I was going to slaughter it.
Okay. Let's hear it because a lot of people slaughter it.
Is it Bahja?
Yeah, it's Bahja. Oh, okay, that's good. First time. Most people be like Bahja, or like Bahia.
Wait, what?
Bahja.
Okay,
yeah, I've heard a lot of different things.
I was gonna say Bahja.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different things before. Funny enough, though, it actually really like my mom intended for it to be Bahja, but then when I started going to like school, like pre-K, like my teachers just called me Bahja, and everybody just like I've never known my name to be Bahja, so it's like I don't know, it's weird. It's like she might have meant it like that, but she doesn't even call me that. Like she calls me Bahja.
So, wow, we just connected. OD. It's probably gonna be the first time I ever had this conversation on camera. Probably never had this conversation again. So, my government name is Jerome.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But ever since it's funny how like the universe work, right? The universe. But so my mom used to always call me J Rome. Like it's weird, like but it's spelled J-E-R. So it's like my mom used to always call me J Rome. And then when I went to high school, when I played football, they had the first initial and the last name. So like on my helmet, so it was always J Hill. So like it was never like it was always J. Everybody like,
cool.
well, how do you get J out of Jerome?
Yeah,
but it's just.
That's what it is.
Yeah, see, we connected.
Okay.
And it's my first time ever sharing my government name on camera. That's weird.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, then that's special. That's pretty special.
They're going to be killing me in the comments now. Like, oh, that's my special. God. But, how are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm chilling. Today was a pretty chill day for the most part. Chill Thursday.
Congratulations for you because today, it was everything but chill.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so how are you then?
I'm good, though.
Oh, okay.
For sure. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Do you ever feel like you be getting like overwhelmed when your day is hectic?
Sometimes like if I'm tired, then yeah. But typically I like for my days to be kind of busy, not like hectic, but busy.
Wait, what's your sign?
You know what I mean? I'm a Leo.
Okay, my daughter's a Leo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, how old is she?
She's 13.
Okay. Oh, wow. So she's like opinionated. I'm sure she has like tons of opinions and thoughts and just.
But she has tons of emotions.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
But she's my stepdaughter.
Okay.
I met her when she was 8.
Oh.
She's kind of been the same, but like, she's just like extra emotional now.
You came in at a pivotal time though, because if she's 13, then it's like she's like a teenager. Yes. So like she's coming into like puberty and like her emotions are like all on 10. So I'm sure that's like pretty colorful for you guys.
Oh my God. But when I first met her, right, like when she was 9, she was going to school, she was crying about her hair, and she still had the same emotions about the same things, like my hair, my clothes.
I get upset about my hair too. Like I'm very particular about my hair, for sure.
I like the which y'all call them? I call them straight backs.
I call them like just like cornrows or just braids.
Okay, so since we breaking down these barriers, right?
Sure.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
I feel so bad.
Why?
Cause I'm old. And I never really heard about the OMG girls.
No, it's okay. You know what? Funny enough, a lot of people, I think now it's kind of crazy because a lot of the people who were fans of us, they're now they're like our age. Right. And then you have like a whole younger group of kids who might know a little bit, but they really don't know because it wasn't like their era, you know, like 20, I would say like, we were it
was like 2009, right?
Yeah, like 2009. We broke up in like 2014. So you know, like that whole little era, I guess. Like it's so funny because I've been seeing people like romanticizing like being a teenager in 2014 or like 2013. I'm like, I didn't think I was like that old enough to like see something like that happen, but like legit, they're like, oh my gosh, what I wouldn't give to be a teenager in 2014. I'm like. Really? Like, that makes me feel old now.
But you're super young. I feel like you're not supposed to ask the girls. Like
no,
25?
I mean, I'm 26. I just turned 26 in August the 2nd.
Congratulations. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Okay.
But, I mean, you know, I know
a little something. See?
Yeah, like, I mean, I've been singing. That was my first professional start. I sang all my life, but, like, that was the first professional group that I was in. I was 12 when I got in the group, and you know, we did it all the way up until I was 18 is when we broke up. So like, you know, it's been a real interesting journey for sure.
And you can sing though.
Thank you.
Like, is that hard being in a group? Like, cause you know, usually groups, and I might be wrong for this, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't really heard the newer age groups.
Yeah.
That like had like really like blower like singers. It's always like harmonizing and make great songs, but it wasn't really like singing like back and they like sang.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a Destiny's Child type vibe.
Yeah, I mean, even like yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say Destiny's Child. Yeah. See, that's how it went over my head. I was just about to say Destiny's Child, but yeah, it's just like Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Usually you just hear it like they would harmonize and they would dance and things like that.
Yeah.
But like you can really sing.
Thank you.
Was that hard? Being the well, let me ask because I don't know.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily like hard because I think what was so unique about our group at that time was like all of us had something that like the other one lacked. So like I really could sing, but I wasn't like the best dancer, and so the other two girls could really dance. And then like, you know, on certain songs, depending on what it is, like you don't really need like a super duper like powerful vocal, you know. You might need like a light and airy moment, and that's kind of like difficult for me vocally. So like Neek will always like, you know, come in clutch right there. Like, so I think we just balanced each other out, you know. Like it was never like we kind of just fit together really well. It was never like a difficult thing for us.
So the girls, I want to assume, because I did read some things, but again, it was so, like I said, it was so hectic, right? I don't make the excuse, but I don't want to slaughter it, but I might take a stab at it.
Okay. Try. Yeah.
When you say Neek, was it Zonique?
Zanique. Yeah.
That's T.I.'s daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know her because one of my friends from back home was dating her.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it? They're gonna kill me if I get it. Was it Reginae Carter?
Yeah.
That was her?
No. So. Reginae was in the group, yes. Like, so it was.
I'm on point. There
we go. Okay, so originally it was 4 of us. It was me, Zanique, Reginae, and my little sister, Lourdes. Okay. And then when we were doing our thing for a minute, then the 2 of them left the group, and then we put in Brianna. And then that's when we like got our deal with Interscope, and like when you see the whole Gucci this, Gucci that, where the boys at, like that was kind of the start of that.
Wow, I actually seen that video. T.I. was in that video, and like Little King was in it. Damani, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
damn, that's
so. Time flies.
It does.
It does.
But I don't. That's what I'm saying. I never remembered that video.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like because
I'm
you're older.
Yeah, because in 2010, 2000, I wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, for a lot, and then too, we were really primarily for like young girls. Right. Like, you know, our demographic was young girls.
Yeah, and I think I was like 18 in 2010.
So it's kind of like, it's so funny because like, well, my bro right here, my engineer. This is my engineer, like everything. My best friend.
What's his name?
Kyron.
Just let that get on camera.
So you know, it's like it's funny because damn, I forgot where I was going with that.
Your bro, your engineer.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what was he talking about before that?
We was talking about in 2010, I wasn't really.
Oh, right. So when I first met my bro, like he's like, you know, I knew about the group, but I ain't never really listened to y'all because he was also like, he's only a few years older than me, but he's also
he's closer to my age. Probably.
Yeah, he's a man though. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't really geared towards men and young boys. So, you know, that's not uncommon.
Damn, that's crazy. So I'm pretty sure you probably had this question 1,000 times.
Yeah.
How did y'all break up?
Well, I think for me, I think a lot of different things were happening at once, but really just to kind of save the dramatics of it, I really just honestly think all of us wanted to do different things. And I think we had been together, you know, you're together from 12 to 18, and then you're 18, and this is like, okay, like I'm legally grown, but you also feel grown. And I think all of us wanted to try something different. So I think at that point it made sense. But I think the cool thing about our friendship is that we've never you know how you hear about girl groups and it's like, oh, like they broke up, it was dramatic, like they're not cool no more.
Groups in general nowadays.
You know, it's like that was never our thing. Like anything that we've ever gone through, if we have, because I'm not saying we're perfect, we've disagreed, we've argued, all of that, but it's never ever hit like a public blog or like a web, you know, like a Instagram type of thing. Like we really deal with things like with each other. And I just feel like the fact that we're still able to be friends, like we still get together, we hang out like just on a regular, just off of, you know what I mean, anything else, off of the industry. And plus me and Zanique have been best friends since we were born. Like our moms have been best friends since they were 10, and as by way of that, we're best friends, you know. So it's like it's family almost.
Do you think that did you ever, or just ask straight up, do you think it was forced at all? The group thing to have y'all sing?
No, I actually don't. Funny enough, when all of it got started, we were, well, at the time, my auntie Tamika was filming Tiny and Toya. Mm-hmm. And so she had called my mom and she's like, you know, I want to do this group for the show. It was just going to be like an episode for the show, I believe. She's like, I want to do this group for the show. Bring Beige, bring Lordy. So my mom's like, all right, cool. She brings us over and, you know, we filmed the episode. Everything's fine. It's like we're living a regular life. When it came on TV, like we literally started getting like bookings. Like everybody was going crazy. Like, who are these girls? Like, we want to see them, you know. Wow. And so that's when my aunt was like, oh, this got to be a real thing. Because like kids really like them for real. You know, like at first it was just going to be like a TV type thing. And once everybody saw the potential of it, that's when we was like, oh yeah, it got to be serious. And from there, it like popped off almost like a whole just like era of music. Like it's kind of crazy because I feel like when people look back at that, it's like we never had an album or anything like that, but just when we talk about like the culture and just like, I guess I don't want to say pop culture because we weren't really pop, but like when you just think about being a teenager during that time, like you cannot not bring up Mom's Behavior or OMG Girlz or Jacob Lattimore, you know, like Diggy, you know, just people like that. And now all of us are like grown and everybody's like doing their respective things. It's kind of cool.
Bro, that's crazy that you even bring that up because I probably wouldn't even mention Jacob Lattimore, but I've interviewed him.
Jacob used to be on the road with us though.
I've interviewed him being in this space, and he's another one that's super talented. Yeah. Like, well, for people that don't know, Jacob Lattimore, I hope we're talking about the same one. He plays on The Chi, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's the light-skinned guy. What character is it?
He's Emmett?
He has all the Emmett.
Emmett
exactly.
Is his character.
Yeah. He's really talented.
No, he's always been super talented. I've known Jacob since I was like 11, 12, and you know, he always sang. And then like I think he was probably the first one out of all of us to get his deal. And then they revamped Scream Tour, and our manager at the time, he was the one who did Scream Tour. So we were on Scream Tour as an opening act. Like, we opened up the show before Jacob, before Mindless, everybody. And what ended up happening was as the Scream Tours progressed on, because we did a Scream Tour, then we did like a holiday run, and then we came back and did like a New Year thing. So they were constantly just doing it. We kind of just worked our way up in the lineup. Like, you know, and then it came to us being like on right before Mindless, which was the headliner at that time.
What would you say the difference between the Scream Tour and then the Millennial Tour? Just from looking at it from outside.
I don't really think it's that much of a difference. I think like I really feel like the similarity in it is just like people wanting to feel like teenagers again or young again. Okay. You know, like I've noticed a lot of people associate us with their like childhood or their teenage years, and they're like, yo, like you really shaped my childhood in a sense, or like, you know, you gave me the confidence to like do my hair crazy colors and, you know, shit like that. So I feel like it's not really much of a difference. You know, when people are going to the Millennium Tour, it's like, ooh, like I remember these songs. I remember these artists. I remember going to the Scream Tour. And
for sure.
You know, so now I want to go to the Millennium Tour. So that's pretty much, I don't really think it's like a difference. I feel like if we were to do like a tour, it would kind of be like.
Very similar.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I actually wanted to talk on one of the points you just brought up, and that was the cultivation of girls wearing these colorful hair. Yeah. Right. You were, what age? You was 12 when you started, or?
I was 12 when I started in the group. Yeah.
Okay. And when y'all started doing the hair, was it instantly doing the colorful hair, or was it years after?
We started out with colored pieces, and the inspiration really behind that was like the whole like Harajuku girls like over in Tokyo, and then like Nikki was coming up at the time, but she had like the one pink piece in the back. And I remember our first show, I'm like, yo, we need to do like colored hair. We need to get some pieces. We got the pieces. Everybody kind of went crazy, and then right either before or right when we got our deal. I really want to say it was like a little bit after we signed to Interscope. That's when we was like, all right, we're gonna dye our hair like all pink, all blue, all purple, and that shit just kind of went crazy. Like I don't really think, like, I remember on the internet everybody was like, oh my god, they're so ghetto.
I was going there.
Parents letting them do this, their hair's gonna fall out. Like, it was just so much, typically from like, you know, like I would say like women who look like us
of color. For sure.
But you know,
let's go there.
I think too, like, it was just something that people had never seen before, and I think that we kind of gave like young girls and really women period, young women period, the confidence, because it's not like we're the first to wear colored hair. I just think that in this era we were the first girls to give like other black women that confidence, you know what I mean? Like, I me personally, I feel like really the best time to wear colored hair like that is when you're young. Like, who really gives a fuck if I'm like 15 walking around pink hair? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a child. But I guess for like the older women who were commenting on it at that time, I don't think they really understood it. And now we've seen this kind of resurgence of like women doing like pink, blue, purple, red, green, neon, gray, like all these different colors.
Burgundy for
and
sure.
Like,
red is big. Red is huge. Yeah.
Like, I mean, but I love to see it though, because I feel like it's expressing yourself. You know what I mean? Like, we could wear colored hair too. You know, I feel like for so long, black women, we've been put in this box. Oh, we got to wear our hair like this. We got to look like this. Your hair can't be too curly or kinky or anything like that. And I just feel like as black women, we could do what the fuck we want to do. Like,
and that's why I wanted to have that conversation, because I feel like that's definitely a conversation we see in our culture, right? And like you said, you guys seen it from some girls in Tokyo, right? And well, I don't know, we're not in that culture, but we don't see girls with fair skin or white girls or girls who aren't of color get the same slack that black women get when they wear
absolutely not, and especially young like white girls. You know, so I think when we came and we did that, it was kind of like almost like a culture shock. You know, like I remember Shade Room wasn't around yet. It was like Media Takeout was like the big blog, and on Media Takeout they like crucified us. I was devastated. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this. People have all this stuff to say, but really then I just stopped caring, because I, like, you know, at the time my mom was like, girl, fuck that, this shit is hot, like, this shit is cute. So once my mama like vetted it and was like, oh, this is cute, that's when, you know, I really was like, all right, fuck it, like, I'm gonna just sit in that, and this what it is, like.
And that's so powerful, right? You had your moms there to support it.
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't have that support, like how you would feel in that moment.
Yeah, no, for sure. It would have been
probably
tough.
Like 13 at this point, maybe like 13, 14.
I was like a fresh 14.
That's crazy.
A fresh 14. So it was just crazy. It was just a crazy experience. But I think that whole thing really set me up just to kind of like have tough skin, period.
And walk in your confidence.
Yeah, and really to just like take criticism differently too. You know, I think when you're young, a lot of people feel like, you know, you see young artists and they doing their thing and you kind of don't really see like the development. Right now I feel like artists aren't being developed anymore. They're just kind of being like put out. Like, I think the labels, they want you to come
the internet
with everything. They want you to come with everything, so it's easier for them to do their job, which is fine, but like, it's no development going on. See, like, when we had to do artist development, so like literally I've pretty much heard everything that you could possibly hear, and I heard it from a young age. So now I like criticism, for me, it doesn't bother me. Like, I just eat it up, really. Like, I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like,
what happened to artist development? Because I remember at one point people were raving on it so much because of I think the one person who really was big on it was Matthew Knowles, Beyonce pops, right?
For sure.
I think he put her through artist development so much. He put he had some other artists that he put
a lot of artists did we actually, the guy who did artist development for us actually developed New Edition. He did artist development for them as well. His name is Marvin. And they took us to him. My auntie Tamika took us to him. She was like, y'all gotta go to him. We was there for probably like a month, every weekend, every day of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We was there, and literally, like, you really just get broken down and be built back up. Honestly, it's like you kind of forget everything you thought it was, and they actually show you like mic placement, media training, how to be on stage, how to perform on a big stage, how to perform on a stage the size of this room. You know, and it was just like that's to me, that's like the shit money can't buy, really.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like the tools that I got from being in the group really like is shit that I still carry with me in my solo career right now. That's you know hard. What I mean, as an adult. So you know, the whole experience for me, I really felt like was positive because I learned so much. Even the stuff that I felt at the time maybe was negative, like certain situations or whatever, it was still like a positive because I learned from it. You know what I mean? So now I don't really run into a whole bunch of problems.
You know, it's crazy because it's always like pros and cons of everything, right, of life. But the one thing that just stood out to me when you was talking about artist development was being media trained.
Yeah.
I feel like the one thing that money can't buy, though, is authenticity.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get real moments from mistakes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you get on the camera to talk and sometimes you might say something that you mean, but it might not have came out how you would have wanted it to come out. And now it blows up. But guess what? From that, you get so many people who say, damn, I feel like the same way.
Yeah. I think really, though, the cool thing with media training is that it's not really like they're telling you, okay, be somebody you're not, right? It's just like, be strategic with what you're saying. Even if you want to like create a moment or you want to create like even now, like how every time you talk, like I don't look anywhere else but you. Like that's just been embedded in my brain because I'm literally with 2 other girls all the time. Before it was 3 other girls. And you know, when y'all talking over each other and one looking here, one looking there, it's kind of like distracting. So it's just certain like things I would say. I don't really think that they ever taught us to not be who we are, but it's just like, be strategic. Like I have like interviews on the internet where like it was early in the morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm falling asleep in the middle of the interview. Like me and the girls had got into it or about I can't remember what the hell it was, but basically I was mad. So I'm like, the whole interview I'm just not gonna talk. I'm gonna just look mad and not talk. You know, and it's like once we got into media training, it's like that's not okay though, and this is why. You know, so I think that it's not really like be someone you're not. I think it just kind of better helps you navigate the media because they take whatever you say and kind of flip it, run with it, interpret it. So.
And not even like when I say not be someone you're not, but I just feel like when I hear media train, right, when I talk to somebody, it's like I can never get a real answer. And not saying that they're being fake. It's just like you said, sometimes it's they're being strategic, but sometimes that can take away from a moment. Because we're talking, I'm saying, yo, how do you feel about, I don't know, hypothetically, gay culture? Or how do you feel about abortions? And they be like, yeah, you know, I just feel like everybody should.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, bro, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like everybody should
But see,
live their life.
Tough. It's tough because I feel like right now we kind of in a society where I don't want to say you're not allowed to have your own opinion, but if it's not the opinion that everyone else has, then it's kind of like viewed negatively. And you see people lose their whole careers in life behind not saying the correct thing. So it's like for artists, I think it's not even like, a lot of artists are really scared to say how they feel. I don't think it's like they're trying to be political with it, but it's like, shit, I don't want to say the wrong shit because if I say the wrong thing, I could literally lose everything overnight, just like that, like quickly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I feel like if you an established artist and you have like That's accolades, you're where you want to be, then you have kind of like the freedom to speak how you want to speak. But when you kind of like still trying to establish yourself, like you're not really in a position to not agree with whatever you should agree with.
That's
you
true.
See what I'm saying?
I was listening to a few radio personalities, and they be saying like that's why they don't like talking to, because what you said just made a lot of sense. Sometimes they don't like interviewing up and coming artists because like that. It's like they're not gonna talk to you just candid because it's like, bro, they got too much to lose. But nowadays I feel like with the internet, bro, like you could be you, and because and this is the good and bad thing about the internet. And this is what I tell people all the time. The good and bad thing about the internet is the exposure to do whatever you want. But the bad thing is an audience for every single thing. And although that could be a good thing, but imagine somebody who's just a foul person who's promoting like a rapist, right?
Yeah.
It's somebody out there who thinks just like them. So because they have the internet, it's somebody that's going to agree with them. And now we have this negativity shit spread it. So it's a good and bad thing with it. So I get it, for sure.
I mean, I could agree with that standpoint. I could agree with that. I just try to be, for me personally, I try not to speak too politically. You know what I mean? Like I think.
Don't give me no.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just I feel like certain things, you know, unless you really ready to like take it there, certain things just really, you know, like what I feel about, you know, abortions or whatever's going on politically, like it really honestly, like what is my opinion to what's going on in the rest of the world? Like I kind of get it from a standpoint of people wanting artists to like use their platform to speak on things that are not going on. So I definitely feel like it's some responsibility in that, but I also feel like it's almost like when people kind of put you up to be a role model even though you didn't ask. It's like being a role model kind of comes with this, but a lot of people ain't trying to raise nobody else's kid.
Facts. No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
You know, so it's just, you know, that's kind of like it's like you have to balance it. You have to balance it out.
So, how do you feel about abortions?
I mean,
it's like I'm messing with you.
I mean, me personally,
I'm joking. You don't have to. I'm really joking. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not gonna answer.
Yeah. It was a joke. So, I mean, unless you want to, it's fine. I mean, if you want to.
I mean, I just feel like, you know, I just think everybody should just do what they want to do. You know, like that's kind of like where I'm at with it. I don't really think it's my place or my position to tell anybody, you know, what they should do, you know, at any moment. I'm not in anybody's situation, so I can't really speak to what, you know, what's going on in the decisions that, or, you know, the thought process that's made. Like I've never had an abortion, so I don't have kids, but you know, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying, like what that thought process is. And you know, some people truly, you know, don't be ready. Like I don't believe in bringing kids in this world and you're not ready to really like raise them. It was a tweet, I think, or a video or something that Thug had made, and he was just like, y'all broke niggas need to stop having kids. And you know, no, but that's real shit though.
No, it is. That's
because
for
it's
real.
like, you know, it's tough to raise a kid. And speaking from my perspective, you know, my biological father is not in my life. I was raised by my sister's father, who's the only father I've ever known. He's my mother's husband. And you know, it's like that's the only dad I've ever known. He came into my life when I was 5 months old.
Shout out to the real men to be stepping
like
up.
But see, I just feel like, you know, it's kind of like coming from, you know, you have like a parent, and my dad is known, he's in the industry as well, and it's like, you know, you have a parent, he was in Silk.
Oh wow.
So you have a parent who, when I kind of enter into the industry, people are like, oh, that, you know, that's his daughter, like, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like weird because I would be at sessions and like niggas would be like, oh, like I know your dad and da 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 whoop de whoop. I'm like, I don't know that nigga like that though. You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't. Like, and I don't have no hard feelings towards him. It is what it is. Like me and him done chopped it up and everything. But you know, it's like,
wait. So not your stepdad.
My biological.
Your
father.
biological father.
Yeah.
Was in Silk.
Yes.
Nah, hold up. I'm sorry. We always get deep on this shit. I wasn't even expecting this. Wait, how in the... You got to break that, because that, me personally, from an outside looking in, that makes no sense. How can you be so popular and so lit, but...
I mean, it's just like, I guess that's how the industry is, you know? Like, he came up in a time in the industry where, like, shit was not geared towards, like, artist preservation, you know? Like, artists didn't really have rights or say so to anything. And so I think, you know, with his situation, you know, it's like we come back to back. Like literally, like I have two brothers that's older than me. It's like 8 of us total, and we come like a year or 2 years apart each. So it's kind of like I feel that I don't know. I don't really know like what his thing is with that. You know, I've never really been able to get a clear answer. Like, why the fuck can't you just stop having kids? You know what I mean? Like, I've never gotten an answer on that.
He was in your life, or?
No.
Right, so it's not even about stop having kids. It's not about that, really. It's about, why wasn't you here for me?
I think that, I don't know. I think it's tough, like, as a man, I guess, like, to kind of see another man. And see, like, to me, when I was younger, I didn't really understand it for real. Like, it was like, okay, I would go and see my dad, but like, this is my dad though. Like, the dad that I go home to is my dad. You know, like, that's like my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything important that I've ever had, he's always there. He never misses anything. All my shows, first steps I took, he was waiting for me on the other side to catch me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, growing up I knew, but I just think that really it got out of hand. I think that he just kind of was having like a lot of us back to back to back, and I think like it just got fucking out of hand. You know what I mean? Like 8, really 5 young kids back to back to back, and then you come back and you have like more kids after. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think it kind of got out of hand.
You're so understanding in it of this.
I mean, I think that kind of came with time, right? Like I think growing up, it used to frustrate me because I feel like I would hear people talk about this version of him that I never met. And I would kind of feel like people knew more good things about him than I really did. So it kind of, as a teenager and even as a young girl, would kind of bother me. But now as an adult, I think I'm content with the fact that he just is who he is. And I can't change that. I can't change the past. I can't change like what happened. I can't change the decisions that he made. But as it stands now, like for me personally, like the reason I don't even talk about it or bring it up is because I really feel like it's disrespectful to my father who raised me. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
a great
I
point.
like yeah, like I feel like it's almost like, you know, like he really did something that he didn't have to do. I tell him that every Father's Day. I'm like, you didn't have to do that, but you did. And he's always like, I had to. You know, like
it wasn't a choice.
Yeah, like he's just always like, from the moment that I saw you, like I loved you, you know, and I really wanted to like be a part of your life, and I wanted to be a part of your mom's life, and that's just what it was. Like, you know, I ain't never known anything different, you know. So I think, and then I think too, me actually having a father figure, it kind of totally, I didn't even give a fuck. Really. You know what I'm saying? Like it would bother me certain times when I'm in sessions or like niggas is talking to me about like my pops or whatever, but you know, for the most part it didn't bother me because I'm just like, I can't be upset about the decisions that he chose to make. And I feel like now I'm a grown woman, I'm 26, like it ain't really too much more raising, you know what I'm saying, that I really need for real. Anything I ever need, I call my daddy, like, you know, who raised me.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
like that is amazing, and it's so
it's a colorful story.
Yeah, and it's relatable though, because you know I lost my same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So my pops wasn't there. My biological father wasn't there. I feel like he wanted to be, but I don't know. Life took. I don't know. I have no idea. But I remember him passing, and it's the feeling was so weird because I was hurt, and I felt like I was hurt for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I was hurt because I wasn't hurt, if that makes sense. So like when he passed, I didn't feel anything. And at one time I was just sitting in the room, and it's like, yo, I lost my father.
Yeah.
I should be hurt. Like I wish I would have known. I want to be hurt about this.
Yeah.
I want to have memories of this, so I don't have memories. So now I'm upset and I'm frustrated about what could have been.
Yeah. And I could see that, you know, he's still living, and, you know, I don't wish anything bad on him, you know, but it's almost like I don't feel that emotional connection. And then I just realized that's not my fault, right? Like, at the end of the day, I'm the kid in it, and I'm like innocent in all of that, you know, and like you were innocent in all of that too. Like, I think, you know, I'm a person who like, I just be like, feel how you feel, right? Like if that's how you felt, you should feel that way. But it's not really like your fault, you feel me, that like a bond really wasn't there. Like and me personally, like I feel like where we at with it is like he don't want to try, I don't want to try. Like, you know, I just feel like we both are like, it's cool, you know, like we don't have to do it. Like we know that we related, we know all of that, but it's not really any type of effort, and I'm okay with that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not upset, you know, or like hurt by that. You see what I'm saying? So it's just kind of a tricky space to navigate, but I try to speak openly about it because I feel like, you know, a lot of people don't really know about that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I feel like it kind of helps certain people too. Like when you talk to somebody, it's like, oh, I can relate. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like I definitely can relate, you know what I mean, to that struggle. So it just it's just kind of something that you kind of gotta just take your time with, I guess, and really like just figure out how you should navigate it. You know, like not just you know, him, but yourself, you know what I mean? Like allow yourself space to just feel how you feel.
I'm glad you were even open to having that conversation.
Oh yeah, like no, it's not no, you know, it ain't no like, see, because it's not a secret, you know, like it's like people, if you know, you know, it's not anything I broadcast, but like if you know, you know.
Damn.
And you know, again, like I said, like I was, you know, my daddy was in my life. He was there for me. Like, you know, he raised me, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's my dad for sure. Like, it's funny because my brothers would come to my house sometimes, you know, like, and they would come and kick it with us. You know, my dad, he never cared. Like, you know, he always was just like, whatever. Like, you know, if you want your brothers to be around you, cool. Like, if you want to, you know, try to have a relationship with your biological dad, fine. I don't have nothing to do with me, you know. But he's very protective of me.
You know, it's crazy though. It's crazy because I'm in a situation and I feel like as a man, you do care.
Yeah.
But I know that this don't have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And as a person, you should have a relationship with your biological father if you want it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not gonna do anything to hinder that.
Absolutely.
But it does hurt because, you know, I'm just being honest, right?
Yeah.
And I never had this conversation on camera, but sometimes it's like, sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's like you feel they are less deserving. It's like, bro, I've been here.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can come when you want is frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
See, my dad was very much like you're not gonna be in and out. So either you gonna be in her life and you gonna be consistently in her life, or you not gonna be a part of it at all.
And he made that known.
Mm-hmm. He made that known to him. But he was like, what you're not gonna do. I think
how old was your pops? You know what I'm saying? Like, how old? Like, was he a little older?
My father who raised my dad.
Yeah.
He was older. He was old, but not that much older. Like, I mean, when he came into my life, he had to be in his like late 20s, early 30s, I'm guessing.
Okay. So he was at least 40 when he was making these decisions. Like, you either going to be there.
Or not. Maybe like, he had to be probably, in his 30s. But, you know, I think that, see, my dad already had kids too. He already had three other siblings before, you know what I'm saying? So I think for him, it was just like, he didn't want me to be in a situation where I'm getting my hopes up to see my dad and he don't come through. And so his thing was like, it's not going to be that. It's either you're going to be here and you're going to be a part of this family and be a part of her life, or you're just not going to do it at all. But you're not going to pick and choose when you come around and then upset her when you don't. Because then now we have to, in our household, you know what I'm saying, we got to clean that up and make sure that she's okay. And it's detrimental. Like, you know what I mean? So I think once that conversation was had, I think that things definitely kind of changed. I think he chose to not be there.
That's so fire.
And that was that.
And him having to be able to have that conversation, because I'm not going to lie, I be feeling like that, but sometimes I feel like it's not my place to say anything.
Well, see, the thing about it is like, if you're raising her, then I feel like it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father was there every step of the way. Like, in every way that a dad can be a dad to a child, like, he was there. So I think he definitely took it personally. You know what I'm saying? And he felt that I didn't deserve to be confused or to, you know, well, why doesn't my dad want, you know, like, I didn't deserve that, he felt. And, you know, he was just like, nah, like, it's either going to be this or that, but it ain't going to be, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be all of this.
That's hard.
It's not going to be all of this.
That's so fire. So when you did have those moments of thinking about it, did that affect your music in any way? Like, at all?
I think.
In your solo career, I guess.
Yeah, like, I think maybe when I speak about, like, breakups and heartbreak and things like that, like, really actually kind of, like, knowing, like, okay, like, this is, you know, like, my family, but for lack of a better term, it don't really seem like bro really wants shit to do with me. You know what I mean? And it just, I think when I talk about, like, breakups, heartbreaks and stuff like that, yeah, but not really necessarily because I didn't miss anything. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have, like, a longing for a relationship with my dad, or, like, a longing for, like, him to be a part of my life, because I have that now. So I'm just kind of, like, indifferent to it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really bother me.
Man, that's fire. I actually wanted to before we got into that conversation, I wanted to going back into the colorful hair era, right? Just curious, because I feel like part of me feel like I can see why people be upset, but part of me not. And like you said, it's better to have it when you're young.
Yeah.
Right? But let's say women want to get colorful hair, right? And I don't know, just freedom of expression of your body in general. Yeah. But when it comes to trying to get a job or be in a professional space, how do you differentiate, or how do you, I don't know, parent that in a child's life?
I think, like, who says that, like, color hair is not professional, though? Them? You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, I think we should just be allowed to be who we want to be. Because, like, I remember being young and being in school, and, like, people was able to come to school with wet hair. You know? And, like, it's cold as fuck outside, and that shit stinks, in my opinion. But, like, it was acceptable. You see what I'm saying? Like, who said that that's not acceptable? Because if we see someone who's not my color, you know what I mean, and she might have a blue streak or a pink streak or whatever's in her hair, like, it's not deemed unprofessional until it's seen on a black woman. Damn. Or until it's seen on a black person. And, you know, for me, like, I'm not really too, like, you know, like, oh, like, white, black, you know, whatever. But I do feel like in certain instances like that, like, I've been into several meetings. I done sat at Jimmy Iovine's house with my hair all pink and got a record deal. You know what I mean? So,
but I feel like that's different from corporate, though. Like,
but I feel like it's still low key. It's still corporate, because in this industry, we're told that we have to look polished. We can't come out the house looking any type of way. We have to always be on point. I think what we did was just different, and I don't really feel like it's anybody's responsibility to deem it professional or not. Like, I feel like being unprofessional, in my opinion, is like showing up and not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or half-assing your job. Like, if I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing at my job, does it matter what color my hair is? Or does it matter how my hair looks? And those are kind of like, you know, questions that I've just always wondered. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in corporate spaces. I've sat down and, you know what I mean, corporate meetings, and I just feel like, you know, it's acceptable because y'all see, like, potential here and money here, and y'all see an avenue to eat, right? But it's not acceptable if I'm just a regular black girl working a 9 to 5. If I come in here with a head full of pink hair, it's good. You know what I mean? I don't think that's fair.
So that's a great stance. How do we protect our children, but let them be themselves? And because let's say might be an extreme example, but we should be able to ask a police officer whatever questions we want, right? We should be able to give our opinion to police officers. But when you're raising a black child specifically, you're going to tell I'm going to tell my son, it's important to make it home. Let's make it home, and then let's deal with it.
That's always my motto.
So that's how I protect my child. But in the same instances, right, when you're raising your child and you know that we black people are looked at and we're prejudicated, is that, I don't know if that's the word, prejudicated? We're I don't know.
Prejudice, maybe?
Yeah, people are
I get what you're saying.
World,
yeah,
right?
I get what you're saying.
And we are discriminated. A better word is we are discriminated against.
Facts.
Right? For just being who we are.
Yeah.
So when we add something to it, it can be harder if we're trying to go into a corporate space. How do we differentiate being parents and allowing our children to be safe, but also protecting our children from the world as well?
I think really all parents, we should just raise children to be, like, tolerant, you know, and then we create a world where you don't have to worry about being persecuted or discriminated against because of who you are or how you look, right? I think that's kind of been the whole narrative, because here's my thing, like, I feel like racism, oppression, things like that is going to always exist, because that stuff is taught, not learned. You know what I mean? Like, it's taught to you. So as long as you're teaching a child that, like, you have to be within these bounds, or you can't, you know what I mean, then that's what it is. But if you teach your child, like, look, it's people who look like this, it's people who like stuff like this, it's people who wear their hair like this or got tattoos or, you know, whatever, like, then you open your child up to it. So when they encounter it, it's not unfamiliar to them. See, ignorance is bliss. For sure. And when you're ignorant to something, a lot of times when we don't know about something, the typical human emotion is for us to be scared of it.
Yep, for sure.
And fear it.
Yep.
You know, I don't know what that is. It could be, it's a high possibility that could be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Right? So it's kind of like, and see, I'm not a parent. I don't have a kid, but I just honestly feel like kids should really just be allowed to be themselves. You know, like, I think that's the best thing that you could do for your child. That's the best thing my mama ever did for me, was let me be exactly who I am. And protect me where I needed protection.
That's hard.
See, it's one thing to protect your child from something that hasn't even like happened yet, right? Like I think my mom, she would protect me from, you know, like the things that, you know, children should be protected from, of course, but I think just in terms of my development, like I was always encouraged to sing. I was always encouraged to dance or do whatever it was I wanted to do, you know? So it was never like, okay, well, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't do that. When I wanted to put color in my hair, when I was like, well, I should do a pink piece, my mama went and got it. When I wanted a belly ring, my mom took me to get it pierced.
Did she give you an age limit, though?
Well, I got my belly button pierced when I was 14.
Okay.
14 or 15.
Okay.
And she went with me. See, because the way my mom is very much like, if you want to do something, I'm going to do it. Like I'll take you to do it and make sure that you're safe. I don't want you to go nowhere with people that you don't know and you get hurt, or you know what I mean, like you trying to sneak around and do something. So me and my mom, our communication has always been like very open line, and so I've never felt like the need to hide anything from her. But I just think that she allowed me to kind of like just be free.
Nah, that's dope.
You know, once that happened, now as an adult, like, you know, I live my life freely, like to the freest extent. You know what I mean?
Yo, being surrounded by so much fame, you had fame at a young age.
Yeah.
Shit, you lit. You got your Grammys popping, and you popping right now, still popping to this day. Yo, how was like dating for you?
Dating is interesting,
it
right?
Gotta be.
Yeah, it definitely was, because like in my younger years, of course, like you're on this tour with all of these guys, like, you know what I mean? And we're all like high school age, so we're literally like talking to our peers at this point. But I think like I was pulled out of school my 10th grade year, the beginning of my 10th grade year, to go on tour. I never went back. I graduated, homeschool program, all of that. So for me, I kind of always leaned towards like dating people within the industry. And funny enough, you know, like I feel like I've never really had a serious relationship up until like, I guess now, but it's like weird. You know what I mean? Because it's like he does music too. He's not an artist, he's a producer.
Okay.
And I think that this is the first time that I've ever been involved with anybody, because it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it. Like I wouldn't call him my boyfriend, but it's like he's been my boyfriend. But it's like weird. You know, I think this is the first time that I have ever been with anybody who's had just as much going on, if not more, than me.
Wait, who is he? Is it public? Because
I mean, well, yeah.
Because I'm curious now. Who is? Because I know.
Oh my god.
Summer Walker was doing the London on the Track thing.
Yeah.
So.
See, me and him, we have been together we've been rocking for a minute.
So he's like a popular producer. Would I know who he is?
I mean, he's produced some really, really big records.
All right, just say who it is.
I don't know.
You said it's public. Just say it now.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Nash B. He does a lot of stuff with Jacquees. He's done stuff with Future.
Okay, that's fire. That's fire.
You know, and that's like my partner.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like that's my dog. Like we, you know, me and him are like this. But it's just weird, I guess, trying to like navigate that space and being like an artist, and then it's like, you know, he's a producer, and kind of like navigating, you know, that relationship, and also like being a part of the industry. Like it's just, I don't know.
So if you, I mean,
crazy.
Of course y'all doing y'all thing.
Yeah.
I guess in another world, if you had to do it again, would you go the industry route or would you go a separate route?
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would still go the industry route.
That's interesting.
Cause I feel like it's more of an understanding there. Like,
True.
when I did date a guy who wasn't in the industry, I'll never forget it. He had dropped me off to Kyron's house, actually. And I had a session at Kyron's house.
He probably was tripping.
And before I had went in,
he probably was tripping. Like,
yeah.
I know he like you.
Before I had went in there, he's like, you know, are you fucking this nigga? Like, and I was just so taken back because no one has ever asked me that. And I'm like, yo, like, this one, I don't have to answer that. But most importantly, this is my brother. Like, I ain't never been, this nigga's never tried me. We've never been in a space ever from the time that we met where we even liked each other. Like, this ain't no like, oh, we used to kind of like talk and see if we liked each other. Now we don't, we brother. Like, nah, this is my legit brother. And what I really told him is like, see, what'll happen is you keep questioning me about him, your ass is going to be out the picture. You know what I'm saying? Because this my brother. And it's like when I'm with now, you know, my person now, like, he gets it. He loves him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like cool. Like, he reaches out to him for certain shit. You know what I mean? That he needs.
But
like,
also, right, dealing with somebody, just talking about the understand, the relatable part, just the confidence that come with being in the industry. Because you got to have a certain level of confidence.
Sure.
It's like, I'm around so many people. I need you to understand it, so we got to be on the same page. And also, I know, shit, I'm lit too, so you don't want to miss out on this either. It's kind of like confidence. It's
like a weird balance. I think. I don't want to say weird, but I'm saying weird for lack of a better word. It's just an interesting balance, I think, because he, you know, with him, he's not like he don't want to be seen. He don't want to be hurt. You know what I mean? He like to just work and do him, and he cool. You know what I'm saying? And now I've evolved into kind of like being the same way, but because I'm really an artist, like I don't really have the luxury of not being seen or heard. So it's like we just kind of have to, I guess, we still navigate what that balance is, but I mean, I think for the most part it's cool. You know, I talk about it a lot on my album for sure this time around. Like I took maybe like a year, like all this year I haven't dropped a full-length project. I've never dropped a album in my entire career, but this album feels different. It feels more grown up and personable, and I feel like I'm really talking about like real life experiences, and he's like a part of a lot of that.
Wow.
So it's interesting. I feel like I'm really able to vent and get stuff out.
When is the album out right now?
No, it's not out right now.
When is it coming out?
I'm gearing towards the top of next year. At first I was gonna do it this year, but I'm like low-key a perfectionist, and I don't want to feel rushed. I don't want to feel like, okay, like, you know, I gotta put this out because the fans want it. I really want to put it out, and I want it to be something that I'm super proud of, and I don't want to rush it.
But you know, you really have nothing to lose. Like you said, you never dropped the album.
Yeah.
Right? So like I feel like this is only the start of what can be so great.
Absolutely. But I think too, you know, for me it's like quality. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that when people hear this, they like, oh shit, like she coming with some shit. Like every song on here is like no skip. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just feel that I have to really be strategic about this, you know, about this album. I'm so like sensitive with it. Like, you know, my bros now that sat with me through some real shit.
We all are though, right? Who said it? Erykah Badu? Who was it?
Erykah Badu, right?
Like we artists.
They done really sat with me through some real emotional things. You know what I mean? And helped me like put this, you know, into a record. And I honestly think too, a little bit of it is like almost, I've never been this vulnerable with the world before. And like I feel like my fans typically hear me speak from fuck that nigga, I don't need him, all this stuff. And this particular time, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, or I didn't feel that way. And so you kind of hear me go through the emotions of like feeling like, damn, I still like this nigga though. You know what I mean? I still like.
That's a great space to be in.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, that's really where we are with it. But I think, honestly, I think it's an amazing body of work. I think we did a really, 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 really good job with it.
Do you think you're like more submissive now that you're growing into your womanhood? More into your womanhood?
I think I am, but I feel like if I feel that I'm not being led in the right direction, it's a problem. So it's almost like I'm submissive for the right
person.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think you make better music when you're in that happy space, submissive space, or do you make better music when you're like, fuck that nigga?
I ain't gonna lie, I be feeling like both. I be feeling like my music just really be hard.
Oh, your shit just bang.
I ain't gonna lie, because I have really good ballads. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people's favorite song from me more is a ballad. You know, it's not really like, oh, I don't need him. You know what I'm saying? So I think they kind of just.
They just
like,
fuck with you.
Yeah, like they really
I'm just fuck
like,
wittable.
Yeah, they just like what I do. You know what I mean? And I feel like really no matter what bag I'm in, like even if I'm in a relationship, I'm still able to tap into like that bag, because a lot of my songs come from like experiences around me too. Like, it might not personally be something that I'm going through, but like if my homegirl come and she talk to me about something, I'd be like, all right, cool. And I just be like, tell me what you think about this song. She's like, bitch, how the fuck did you just put all of this in a song? Like, just the same conversation we just had. You know what I mean? So it's like, I draw inspiration from other places, not just from my real life experiences.
How do your friends take that, though, in those moments? Because, like, you know, it can be cool, but at a point, it's like, yo, if I come to you being vulnerable, I'm telling you how I feel, and the next thing you know, we put in a song, the world don't know, but, like, your friends, bitch, how the fuck you telling my business? Like,
I mean, I think they enjoy it. I think my friends actually feel like it's really cool, and I think that because the world don't really know that it's about them, the world thinks that it's like me going through that, you know, it doesn't bother them. But I think to them it's almost like they're like, how are you able to do that? Like,
so question, because it's not your experience, are you giving them writers credit?
There have been records though where I have like given friends of mine like writer credit for sure, but my friends like they're not musicians. You know what I'm saying? Like they can still earn a couple dollars, you feel me? I don't think my friends think that deep into it. You know, like I think that I've been blessed to have a friend group who really just wants me to succeed. Like nothing more. So if I'm able to draw something from an experience they have and put it in a song, like they just want me to win. Like it's not even about like, you know, anything like that. Like I think they just really want me to succeed, and sometimes I'll take what they're telling me and kind of like mesh it up with something I've been through, and you know, it's just I don't know, like it's just a different experience.
I understand.
It's a different experience.
So I wanted to get into something fun.
Okay.
So you've been in a group.
Yeah.
Y'all went y'all separate ways.
Yeah.
Who do you think had the worst group breakup of all time?
Oh, something that was like really big and kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, I'll probably say B2K for real.
That shit is crazy.
I'll probably say B2K. I would probably say B2K because it's so many like different stories about what happened with that. And then I think even right now with them being like all grown men, they father, you know what I'm saying? It's still like a sore spot for them, you know? So I definitely kind of feel like B2K, but you know, I mean, I don't know what happened with the situation.
So curious, did you look at Omarion different after the verses?
No, because Omarion could sing. For me, it's like a live performance like that, right? Like, we done heard him sing live and he did A1. So to me, it's not about if he could sing or if he can't sing. I just think that wasn't his best performance.
Okay. But outside of the performing, though, I'm talking about like how he even reacted towards his ex-group members. Like, did you be like, damn, like...
I mean, I don't know what happened for him to be that way. And see, I think a lot of times, too, just with groups, it be a lot of stuff that goes on that people don't know about. And with my group, I've always felt that, like, just the way we are, it's not even nobody's business to know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless, like, I just feel like it's no one's business, you know what I mean? But I feel like with them, something has obviously happened where niggas is like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I don't really know what took place, what happened with him and the group members. It's kind of like, he say like, he said this, he said that, da, da, da. You know, so we none of us was there, and that's too why I really don't try to like just talk about, you know, just shit like that, because I feel like when you telling your truth, you opening up a space for people to say you lying, and when someone tells you that you're lying and you're telling the truth, it triggers you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it makes you upset. You like, nah, like this is a fact. But if people really feel like it's not a fact, they feel like it's not a fact. And especially if it's like a public figure, you know what I'm saying? It's like people 9 times out of 10 are going to go with the public figure because we feel like we know this person. You know, they would never do nothing like that, you know, like type of thing. So it's just, I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
So give me top 3 kid/teenage groups. Top 3.
Top 3.
Who started as like young.
Okay, well, I have to go. Well, I can't say my group, right?
So give me top 5 then.
Okay. So I'm going to say my group, of course.
Of course.
OMG, like, I gotta put us in the mix. But I feel like...
OMG Girlz.
Yeah, I feel like 3LW was a good one.
They was kid. How old were they?
They were young, like 50, like our age.
Oh wow.
14,
Okay.
like
OMG
15.
Girlz. 3LW.
I think New Edition's a good one. First song I ever recorded was Mr. Telephone Man. I was trying to think who else. Oh, I gotta say B2K
For sure.
And then, really, can I say Destiny's Child? Because they were teenagers.
Yeah, that's not.
Can I say that?
We could do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Destiny's Child.
Okay, now give me top 5 group all time.
Ooh. Okay, TLC gotta go on. This is in no specific order.
Okay.
TLC, Outkast.
Oof, heavy. That's some southern shit to say though. That's some southern shit to say.
Shit, I'm trying to think who else of all time.
All time.
Shit. Okay. I'm gonna throw in. I'm gonna throw in the Temptations.
She know a little something.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw them in the mix for sure. The Supremes.
Oh, you was showing off now. You showing off.
And last one. Do I have a last one? I don't know.
It's a lot more out there that you
I
can
know,
throw in
but
there.
like I'm trying to just think like groups that I like resonate with, like groups that just done had like.
I don't think I would resonate with. You got me with the Supremes. That's what my moms would resonate with.
I ain't gonna hold you. You know, when you in like a 3-girl group, like you have to study, right?
Okay.
So it's like my aunt was so big on us knowing like just our history, where we come from, like. Why are you doing this? Who did this before you? How well did they do it? Or not well did they do it, right? So with the Supremes, it's like, you know, you kind of hear like the popular songs, you know, that they have. But when you just look at what they did, like on the accolade side, like just chart-wise, music-wise, like the records they were breaking and shit like that, I mean, you kind of just got to call a spade with that one. You know what I mean?
you gotta give me last one. You gotta give me one more.
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna have to throw Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I ain't
again.
mad at that. I was waiting.
I'm gonna have to throw them in there again.
I was waiting.
Like,
I'm not mad
I'm
at
gonna
that.
have to.
I'm not.
They just are so fire.
So, how close does the Migos get to your top 5? If it was a top 10, where would they be? Or would they even be in your top 10?
Yeah, the Migos could be in my top 10, and I feel like they would probably be like a 7 or an 8. And here's why. Because I feel like I'm not a rapper, right? So for me, rap music doesn't really like, you know, like I'll listen to it, but it's not like I'm gonna just be like, ooh, I gotta be on all the latest rap shit, right?
Okay.
But with the Migos, I do feel like what they did for the culture and just especially for Atlanta is like undeniable. You know, like I remember it. You know, I remember them coming up. I remember them, you know what I'm saying? Like just getting to where they are now. So it's just non-negotiable. You know what I'm saying? Like they definitely went and did their thing.
See, I'm from Baltimore, so I think like Drew Hill would be in my top 5.
Yeah,
maybe.
Drew
like,
Hill's though.
Drew Hill
Man, well then we gotta take it back to. Then I gotta say Jagged Edge. Then
I definitely would go with Drew Hill over Jagged Edge for me.
Nah, them boys can sing though. They really can sing.
I
mean, but Drew Hill could sing too. And then we gotta look at who else was it? Jodeci. Jodeci is a good one.
Jodeci was cool for sure.
Yeah.
If or when we see this Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri versus who wins?
That's hard.
I know what you're gonna say. I shouldn't ask you that.
No, I mean it's hard though because I feel like both of them are just like, see, with the versus thing, that's why I can't really get with it because I just feel like who's to say who's the judge of anything? Like they both could just be good. Like
nah, don't
Diddy,
do that.
Nah, because for real, like Diddy put on for like just the whole like up north, you know what I mean, side, and I feel like JD put on for like the south, and I feel like when you listen to even now when you listen to music from up north and down south, it's two totally different sounds. Even the rap, like right now, like drill is going crazy up there, but down here, trap music has consistently been the winning thing forever.
No, Atlanta. You just got, like you said earlier, you got to call a spade a spade. Atlanta just took over since I don't even know when now.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's just real.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I definitely give the respect to Atlanta, and I've definitely had the conversations of why people from up north try to take, they overlook the South so much.
Sure.
But I don't know. I still need an answer. Who wins?
I'm gonna just have to go with the home team now.
I knew it. It's fine. And I ain't mad at that.
I'm gonna have to go with the home team. Damn, I kind of feel bad. I need to put some money on my car.
I feel like, no, we can.
Okay.
See, he been looking out. I didn't even think we was talking for this long.
Yeah,
this is great.
Yeah,
this is a great conversation.
Great.
Like for sure. Like, but no, I think in that it could be a media trained answer and it's no winner because I'm not gonna lie, like that's for the culture for sure.
But I mean, I still picked Jermaine Dupri, so I feel like that wasn't too bad.
No, you did. You picked somebody, but I'm just saying, even if you be like, it's not, like I ain't mad at it. If somebody said no winner, I wouldn't technically be mad at that because they go crazy.
Yeah,
both of them. Yeah. Like
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I can see you doing some songs with like JD.
Yeah, me too.
Same concept. Yo, how is the like the solo artist vibe been for you now?
I think it's been really cool. It's definitely been a journey, but I enjoy seeing like how far I can go, and I enjoy the tenacity of it. Like,
tenacity.
Yeah, like just watching myself continuously, like just
be
inspired to do it. Yeah, it inspires me, and really like I love the fact that like I have like my own like team, and you know, like my team is like my family. You know, like every single person who's a part of what I do is literally like somebody I would consider like a brother or a sister, like, you know, so it's just been really cool to kind of see.
Does the expectation or the litness ever bother you? Like, because I feel like somebody who's a nobody, respectfully, that's coming out making music and, you know, just doing anything, entrepreneurship, they really have no expectations. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna see where it goes. But you had a career, you've been successful, you lit on the gram. It could be a lot of expectations surrounding you. Is that ever stressful to you at all?
Nah, I don't really think about that. You know what I mean? If I did think about it, it would stress me out. Literally, like I legit make music for myself, and I don't really worry about like what's not like you know, like people always just like, oh, we got to get a song for the radio. Like I don't make music like that. Like I literally make songs I like, and if people feel like they're good, they listen, and if it's not their cup of tea, it's just not their cup of tea. But I don't really pay too much attention to like just what's going on like around me and feeling like I have to aspire to that. I just feel like everything is about timing. So it's like when it's time for me to really like go up, like it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Like I can't speed it up or slow it down. You know, it's just gonna happen when it's supposed to. But while I'm waiting on that moment, you know, I just prepare for it.
No, I fuck with. I feel it, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
Great spirit, great soul to talk to.
Listen, this was awesome. I love stuff like this.
Thank you so much.
I'm able to really, you know, talk.
Unpack.
Yeah.
That's why I just sit back sometimes, just let people unwind.
Yeah, you know, it ain't nothing wrong.
When the last time somebody asked you how you been doing? Like, how have you been? Or how are you doing?
I mean, you know what? I'm blessed to have people around who really care.
That's fine.
How I feel.
I feel like we be so busy that sometimes and even if somebody do be like, how you doing? It's not really saying how you doing. It's really like, hi, and you better not answer that question. Like, a lot of times. Like, we be so busy immersed in what we got going on, we really forget to ask somebody like, damn, how do you feel today?
Yeah. It's deep. It's deep. That's what I could say.
When the last time you asked somebody how they feeling today?
I ask somebody how they feel every day.
Oh,
every day.
So sweet. I like
every
that.
Day.
I like that. Well, it was great talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
no problem. Anytime. I'm gonna try it again, right? Bahja Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ooh. Mr. J Hill Podcast, Massive Rap. Nothing else to say.
Yes.
You didn't even drink your drink.
Like, because I had the ice.
Did you know a 2018 study showed half of prenatal vitamins tested had unacceptable levels of heavy metals? I'm Kat, mother of 3 and founder of Ritual. When I was 4 months pregnant, I couldn't find a prenatal I could trust, so I created my own. Ours is made traceable, third-party tested for heavy metals, and recently earned the Purity Award from the Clean Label Project. But don't just take my word for it. Get 25% off at ritual.com/podcast.